Hey up, Sofa Squad, and welcome to the 30th edition of On the Sofa with my part-time co-host, Bad Tempered Badger.
Good evening. I have Battenberg.
Yay!
We should be good for whatever is coming.
Okay, brilliant. And in the side chat, we've got Stool, Ricardo, Nerdy Rodent, and Mr. Critical Cripple.
Yeah, we've got all the usual suspects, and no, Dave, this is not the Disney Review channel. That would just be me saying it's shit.
Yeah. So, yeah, quite a week of news we've had.
Yeah, it's been a bit wonky, really, isn't it?
Nerdy is saying, I had a Bramley apple cream turnover.
Excellent.
Very nice.
Where are we starting now? What should we begin with?
Okay, let's have a butcher's. Let's have a look. Okay.
Squiz at the old.
We may as well. I think we were just saying off the air that we think it's probably going to be a COVID special because it's. But
seems to be a bit of COVID about, doesn't there?
Yeah. Let's start with this one. Scientists slam bonkers government lockdown plans after COVID likened to flu.
Well, the thing with the government is they're kind of shit. I'm trying to think of a witty way of phrasing that then, but no, they're just shit.
Yeah. Nerdy's asking, how many people do you think I'm going to die in 4 weeks' time?
I would rather not speculate on that, to be honest. I think that's going to be a bit grim.
Yes.
I'm just looking something up. Which I probably should have looked up beforehand, but I'm silly.
The experts have broken ranks to lash out at frightening health secretary as government gears up to lift restrictions on Freedom Day, with one branding the plans bonkers. I do wish they stopped calling it Freedom Day.
It's
so asinine.
Well, it's to appeal to people who are all, it's to appeal to the freedom people and the knobheads. Now, I'm a bit of a freedom people, but the thing with being like free is it also helps to not be dead or getting new variants of COVID in the process.
Yes. Well, yes, exactly. I mean,
I'm just trying to find. You go on a sec while I just look this up. I'm trying to figure something out here.
Okay. So the article goes on. A top scientist launched a stinging attack on Avid after the frightening health secretary compared the COVID pandemic to flu and signaled he is determined to lift all COVID restrictions on July the 19th. And this is the thing. They're opening up. They're opening up everything all at once. And even though cases are soaring, and the Delta variant is more virulent than the Alpha variant, and there's potentially this new Lambda variant, um, there's now been detected here in the UK that is even more virulent.
I haven't looked that one up in detail yet. I have to have a look at that one later on. I'm just trying to find what's the bloody UK population at the moment. Okay, 68. Oh.
Dave is saying, "Hey Badger, how do you feel that the freedoms of the COVID rules are getting undone, but we're getting new, unrelated policing bill that actually fucks us?"
Oh, it's wonderful, isn't it? Because we suddenly got all this mask business going on, where people wearing masks all over the place. Which that's great. I mean, not just because of viruses, but also because of people stopped looking at me. They've all just got masks on.
Yeah.
They stopped trying to make awkward eye contact with each other all the bloody time. And this is I did suspect sort of towards the start of this that the lovely government would sneak through a load of shit at the end of once they'd got their heads around how to exploit the COVID situation, they would sneak through a load of shit to make things worse for everybody.
Yeah.
And what we've got now is the old policing bill, which you don't actually need to protest. It's just you can protest as long as you don't actually cause us any problems. If you do, you can fuck off to jail.
Yes. Yeah. And yes. So you can protest. Just be quiet about it. Just keep it to yourself.
Just don't get the protest message to anyone.
Yeah.
Just work from home protests. That's even better.
Yes.
Just sit at home and be angry. Just don't tell anyone.
just internalize that shit.
Yeah.
Okay, keep a stiff upper lip. But if we're lucky, we're going to get to that story and go do a deep dive into that later. But we're going to continue with this for now.
Well, what I've just been looking up is the current number, rough amount of people in the UK that have had the old vaccine.
Yeah.
Well, the new vaccine really, because it's only just appeared. But BBC's coming up with a figure of about 45.6 million people have had at least one dose of it. And that's out of 68 million, if I'm reading the numbers right.
Yeah.
So that's not both doses. That's just one dose.
Yeah.
At least one. So less than that have had both. Yeah, I don't think it's quite time yet. I don't think it's quite time to be opening everything up just yet.
No, not quite.
And you probably should have a little bit of time to do a few studies to check the thing actually works properly.
Yes. Yeah, this is it, isn't it? That's another point. Miss Godless Gummer was saying Badger has been protesting against Disney for some time now.
Yeah, I'm not doing a silent protest about that though. I'm quite loud about it, in fact. Just in case anyone hasn't received this message, Disney can fuck off and is non-canon.
Well, that's okay because it's not upsetting the government.
I expect Boris has got some stakes in Disney.
Probably. Nerdy is saying, if we put everything into perspective, I've had two jabs, so now I'm vaccinated. I'm all right, Jack. And Stall is saying, put Badger in pretty prison.
I do not want to be around Ms. Patel, thank you. I have words for that I don't think she'll like, and might get me in trouble with the protest regulations. Apparently, Priti Patel will deport me. Deport me back to the woods.
Yes. Yeah. Yes.
What else? Yeah, I'm still waiting for the bovine TV back. The TB vaccine. It's bovine television.
The Professor Steve, I'm going to butcher this surname, but Steve Reicher, who advises the government as part of SAGE, hit out at the newly appointed minister after he used a Daily Mail article to say that Brits must learn to live with the COVID as we already do with flu.
I mean, yes, but no, because they're not the same thing.
No.
I mean, yes, but you do need to learn to live with it, but you need to actually know that your measures against it are functional in order to do that.
Yeah.
You've got to have time to test that all the vaccine business works, and so on and so forth.
Yeah, exactly. Story saying Majid Woo Woo is on. That's why I'm watching this crap. Not sure how. Not sure how to take that, to be honest. But anyway, I guess it's a compliment.
I've often been asked, does a badger shit in the woods? Yes, but also sometimes shit's all over YouTube.
And Nerdy is saying, just live with the increased death and long-term disability like we do with polio and smallpox. And Mr. Scummer is saying, Priti Patel last month, I don't support the England football team because they take the knee. Pretty. Yes, I saw your message to Ms. Patel, godless Scummer. Yes, and I think you were speaking for a lot of us. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, I thought you had some good points.
Well, Ms. Patel, she likes to be on the. She likes to put on the free speech banner. She likes to put on the freedom of expression. I've been in the council business, which I think there's some merit to that, but there really isn't when she says it, because then she goes, "Yeah, but football team, they can't say that, they can't make a statement during their thing."
Yes. Now the team's actually winning. Just as Godless Scummer is correct. She's jumping on the bandwagon.
Yeah, she doesn't actually give a shit about freedom of expression for anyone but herself and her friends.
Yeah, exactly. I just want to read this last paragraph from this article, and then we'll move on. Talking to Twitter, Professor Reicher said, it's frightening to have a health secretary who still thinks COVID is flu, who is unconcerned at levels of infection, who doesn't realize that those who do best for health also do best for the economy, who wants to ditch all protections while only half of us are vaccinated.
Well, the thing with the flu is humanity has been dealing with the flu for quite a long time now.
Yeah.
And still people die of it every year. People vulnerable with health issues, and even people who aren't, die of the flu every year. And new vaccines have to keep being made for it because of new strains of the flu. So you could look at it from the perspective of, yeah, humanity does need to learn to live with it in the same way as the flu. We haven't got there yet. You got to do a lot more vaccines testing and stuff, and deal with new strains. And you're rushing into this.
Hmm.
It's not quite ready to be pushed into the back of the mind yet.
Yeah. Critical Cripple was saying, I want to know how Professor Reicher stands.
I suspect he leans.
But I'm not sure if I get that reference, but anyway.
I'm hoping he's making a reference to the Riker lean.
Okay, right. But see, my the way I see things is this. Boris Johnson said that if we don't open up now, then when are we going to open up?
A bit later.
Yeah, but he was saying he was saying in that press conference that he did that if we either open up now or we'll find ourselves opening up in the winter. Well, hang on a minute. It's a few months until winter.
Also, what's wrong with the winter?
Why? Well, winter is when we'll be at a disadvantage against against COVID because it'll spread quicker or something. But why not just wait just one more month? By which time,
there we go, Riker lean.
The Riker lean. Oh, I see. Okay. By which time, most of the adult population will be double jabbed. You started a vaccination program. Why not finish it first and then open? But no, he seems to be guided by dates, not data.
My thoughts on it, on timing, should be at least 80% of the population should have had both doses of the vaccine.
Yeah.
And I'm not an expert on any of this, so that's my vague layman perspective, having read some stuff. I would say at least 80%, but you might need more than that. I don't know. I mean, you will need more than that eventually, but it's whether it's mitigating the risk enough to do opening up. Well, speaking of the football, I was driving back to the borough after the match was won, and there were people spilling out of the pubs, drunk, breathing all over each other, nearly getting run over by me. So I think it is a lot of it not open already, and just people are ignoring all the safety precautions.
Yeah. Well, yeah, exactly. I mean, Nerdy Rodent is saying, open up in a more gradual way. Ensure you have ventilation in schools, sufficient vaccinations, keep wearing masks, etc. Yeah, you got a good point, Nerdy. Yeah, and I think that is what that's what Labour seem to be arguing for as well.
Masks are great. You should just have those anyway. Just regardless of COVID, just have masks, because then people stop looking at me, and it cocks up all the government's facial recognition camera ideas, at least for a while. So if you want to sell it to the conspiracy boys, just point to facial recognition cameras and that guy who got arrested in London for covering his face when they were trialing those. Just be like, oh, you forgot about this, did you?
Wild Eden is saying Scotland are still being cautious for the moment. Yes. Yeah. Yes. I heard that in the news earlier today. I heard the First Minister, whose name temporarily escapes me, saying that that's their Sturgeon.
Yeah.
Saying on the news that that's the approach they're taking, which is the approach I wish we were taking. But here we are. What?
Critical Cripple says Badger is for compulsory masks. I'm for compulsory shut the fuck up around me when I'm like out trying to do stuff. If I'm trying to like go shopping or just a walk somewhere, I'm for just people not being allowed to come within 20 miles of me.
Nerdy saying Keir Starmer actually laid it out quite well. And at least the speaker pointed out it was the Prime Minister's questions, not opposition questions. Yes. Yeah. And Godless Scummer says, oh boy, one of my friends thinks that the Track and Trace app is a conspiracy to monitor us. Oh.
I'm not touching that one.
No.
I'm not touching that one with a plague pole.
The plague pole, yeah. And well, yeah, I mean, yeah. It's it beggars belief, what some people believe, isn't it? I mean, yeah.
You've heard of Google, haven't you?
And okay, so moving.
You could be worried that the Track and Trace app, it might be, conspiracy to monitor you, but have you turned off location settings for your Google accounts?
Yeah. Well, yeah, exactly. This is the thing, isn't it?
I was worried about the Track and Trace app when it first appeared for that reason, and then people described to me exactly what it stores and what it doesn't, and it doesn't have the capacity for that.
Yeah. So there's our new health secretary, Savage Avid. Is he about to put his mask on, or is he just taking it off? Who knows? He looks a bit concerned in that. He looks a bit worried in that photo, like he's been caught with his pants down.
He looks like he's just. If I had to guess at the circumstances of this photo, I'd say he's just left the podium speaking on some topic or other, taken his mask off with a load of people standing close to him, looked up at the camera and realized, fuck, this is going to be a headline.
Quite possibly. UK scientists caution that lifting of COVID rules is like building variant factories. Have you heard this?
I have heard, I heard it reading through the documents earlier. I try to not be too up on the news most of the time because it gets depressing after a while.
Yes, I know what you mean. I thought
I'd better catch up on it all in time to do this.
Yeah. UK scientists have warned that the lifting of all COVID-19 restrictions is like building new variant factories at a very fast rate, and said the attitude of the new Health and Social Care Secretary, Savage Avid, is frightening. Writing in the Mail on Sunday, Javid said the best way to protect the nation's health was by lifting the main COVID-19 restrictions.
Okay, now before I get into... Before I shit all over him, I just want to point to the part where I agree. Mental health has not been great during this pandemic for a lot of people. A lot of people, all the lockdowns and restrictions and masks and so on, and deaths, obviously, have not been great for people's mental health. If you want to point to the people who have been the least help with that, you can point to the Conservative government.
Yeah. And lockdown, being,
Yeah.
isolate, being in a state of isolation, and
Hmm.
it did have a detrimental effect on my mental health. I'm not going to lie.
Another one from the chat there. Rise in domestic violence has been high. Yeah, that's another area where his statement has some truth in it.
Yeah,
It'd be great if the government didn't cut funding for shelters for that kind of thing.
yeah, yes, and they've been cutting funding for mental health help as well.
Hmm.
So Nerdy is saying, I've been fine in lockdown, but I'm an introvert.
Yeah,
I have
so,
extrovert family members who are losing it.
same for me. Some of my friends and relatives have been going. How can I put it? How can I put this? They've been going. They've been going wonky. Let's put it that way. I'm
Yeah.
mostly okay because I prefer my own company, but I've been getting a bit down at times because there's certain people I do want to see that I haven't been able to.
Yeah.
Not that many, but there's certain people.
But that said, I still think it's for the best. Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. I would like to, I would love to be able to get out more and, and have all our freedoms renewed, and not have to wear a mask and all the rest of it. But it needs to be done in a controlled way. It needs to, and just do it gradually. Open up, not open up all at once. It's like they've given up. They Boris Johnson is, he seems to have just, he seems to be like, oh fuck it, I can't deal with this anymore. It's too hard.
Well, if I was to put on my conspiracy tinfoil hat for a minute,
Yeah.
Boris, I think it was clearly planned that the succession of Conservative leaders, Theresa May, who has the face of a brick wall, was supposed to be there to get the unpopular deal to happen and be unpopular in the process. Then Boris was supposed to clown his way in and make it look palatable.
Yeah.
But then COVID happened, and Boris was not. Yeah, he was not the person that you need for that.
No.
That's why I'm fairly sure that it's one of the things that fairly quickly convinced me that COVID was not a government conspiracy, was that Boris was in charge when it happened.
Yeah, well, yes,
He was the last person you want to be the figurehead of the country when there's a serious pandemic business going on.
Yeah. Yes, yeah.
Hanging back up on the zip line.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. But we're stuck with him, at least for the time being. But and unfortunately, he surrounded himself with sycophants and people who agree with him, basically.
Yeah, he seems to, doesn't he?
People who are going to toe the party line and tell everyone how wonderful Brexit is. And
Well, he's just gone for people who. He's gone for people that he's gone for all the people in his club and people who like people in his club,
yeah.
rather than people who are good at the things he's appointed them to do.
Yes, exactly. But yeah, that's the problem. Yeah, he's it scares me just how incompetent everyone in the cabinet seems to be.
Mm.
There doesn't seem to be any talented people in that. The problem. I mean, if the problem is if Johnson goes, if he gets ousted, like Theresa May did, who's going to take his place?
I don't know, but
We may end up.
if it's still Conservative government, there's nobody better than him going around at the moment.
The problem is
there's just people who aren't quite so. Okay, there's Boris is good at about 3 things, and the main one of those is deflecting blame. You know, he's good at being just clownish enough that he's, at least before becoming prime minister, he was just clownish enough to be viewed as kind of viewed with a somewhat positive, laughable buffoon vibe, rather than being a figure of concern.
Yes. Critical Cripple was saying Savage could take over. Nerdy Rodent was saying Hamster Cheeks could take over.
Which one's Hamster Cheeks?
I'm not sure actually.
Nerdy, explain.
But my concern is that we could end up with someone who is just as evil as Boris Johnson, but more intelligent, which would be a lot worse. He's saying Michael Gove.
Oh, Hamster Cheeks. Okay. I see it now.
Yeah, Michael Gove has been very quiet since his divorce. He hasn't had the media intrusion, the same media intrusion into his life that my mind's gone to mush. Hancock had.
Well, I think Hancock's more interesting because, at least, you know, from a media perspective, because Hancock and Boris were arguing.
Yeah.
So yeah. It's got, oh, look at this, we've got, you know, it's this soap opera politics. Look at this, we got Boris, we got Hancock, and we're going to bash the dolls together.
Yes. Story saying they have to pick another lovable buffoon to hide the evil in the party.
Where are they going to find another lovable buffoon?
There isn't one. That's the problem.
They're out of lovable buffoons. Closest they got is Mog, and that's just because of his name.
Yeah. Yes. But he's not lovable.
No, it's just his name makes him sound vaguely funny.
Hancock's half-baked policies. I think Rishi Sunak. He seems to be the poster boy at the moment, and I think he could quite conceivably be the next leader of the Conservative Party, but I could be proved wrong. We shall see. Watch this space.
Actually, Nerdy Rodents made a good point there. Mog equals the Right Honourable Gentleman from the 1800s. I mean, if he was to put on like a top hat with goggles on, he might have a chance of winning.
Yes, exactly. And Ricardo is saying it wouldn't be that surprising. Liz making the bid for it. Oh God, no! Oh no! Don't, no. She's the worst. She let's not, I don't have nightmares, for God's sake.
I don't want to picture any more of these people's faces, to be honest. What's next on the agenda?
Yeah, let's moving swiftly on. Yes, let's do this one. UK records another 32,548 new COVID cases, with 33 deaths in worst day yet of third wave. This is from the Mirror by Lorraine King.
Oh, well, Trump said how to fix that. You just stop recording them.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. Yeah, stop recording them.
If nobody knows how many there are, then there can't be that many. Taps forehead.
Nerdy, you're going to get banned. But yeah, I mean, this is the thing is, I mean, cases are soaring, and they still want to open up all in one go. The new the article goes on. The news comes as Dr. Hilary Jones warned that ditching the rules just as cases and hospitalizations continue to rise was a recipe for trouble, and he believes the government is playing a risky strategy.
Well, I'm sorry, I'm just popping in my head here. Just 2 weeks from now, well, 2 weeks from yesterday, I'm looking forward to COVID coming home. Because I was running over all the knobheads coming out of the pub, go away, and spraying saliva all over each other.
Yeah. Nice.
Oh, hang on. Yeah. I was trying to navigate my way down the road, just going, oh, another one. Where's this one stumbling to?
Yeah. A total of 32,548 people have tested positive to coronavirus in the UK in the last 24 hours, and there have been 33 deaths. This is the highest number of cases recorded in the third wave since January the 23rd, when there were 33,431 new infections. Last Wednesday, the number of new infections stood at 25,637, with 14 new deaths. Yesterday, the UK reported 28,773 new cases, the highest figure on a Tuesday since late January, and a further 37 deaths in the latest 24-hour period. And yet our government still wants to open up everything. The news comes as Boris Johnson has warned that COVID cases could rise to as much as 50,000 per day by Freedom Day on July the 19th. So why are you doing it?
Kill the poor. I mean, save the economy.
Yeah.
It's just kind of, we've got to pick a date. Let's pick this one.
Yeah.
This one's nice. Oh, it's cases are going up. Well, we picked a date. What are you going to do?
Yes, and why do you think he's doing this, Badger? Why do you think he's what's happening?
I think he's appealing to the people who vote for him, which are I'm trying to think of the right word. He's appealing to his voter base, which is mostly the people who are, economy over lives.
Yeah. Ricardo is saying to appease his party, and I think, I did name me to do that, but I think there's some. I think I agree. I think there's some truth in that. That he wants to appeal to his voter base, but I think also he's under pressure from his backbenchers, who are putting pressure on him to reopen the economy and get the economy moving again.
Yeah,
and he doesn't want to lose his job. Just like Theresa May did.
Well, I expect this is also for personal reasons, for his own benefit. He's got lots of money invested in various things that probably will benefit from economy opening up.
Yeah. And this is, and I suspect there's lots of House of Cards shit going on in the background that we don't know about. There's lots of kind of Game of Thrones backstabbing stuff happening, and he doesn't want to get ousted. He doesn't want his backbenchers to do a vote of no confidence in him.
Oh, that's a good point, Nerdy in the chat. He has just put that new wallpaper up as well.
Yeah, he's only just decorated the house.
Yeah, he's wallpapered it with tax money.
Yeah.
It's just got all the £5 notes up the walls.
Wild Eden is saying, what's the point of getting the economy moving again if the death rates rise as a result? There won't be people left to run the country. Yeah,
people left to run it.
Well,
he'll be fine, probably.
Yeah,
it's just that the people. He doesn't really need the poor, does he? Well, people with health issues. He doesn't really need those.
No. Exactly. It makes me angry. It really makes me angry. I'm sick of this government. But unfortunately, I think we're stuck with them until,
for the time being, yeah.
Until May 2024. Because the thing is, there's not going to be a snap election. Because he has no reason to call a snap election. Because he's got a whopping great majority. He's got an 80-seat majority?
Something like that. I'm not sure of the figures, but it's significant. Is the last thing I heard about it.
Yeah, it's huge, and so yeah, we're stuck. We're stuck. We may not be stuck with Boris because I think eventually he'll outlive his usefulness, and they'll oust him. That's my prediction, and so but we'll get someone worse to take his place. But we're certainly stuck with the Tories until 2024. And it's frustrating. But anyway, it gets worse. It gets worse. There's another story too. There's some more stories about this.
What's the next one then? What's next on the agenda?
Huge surge in number of pupils sent home due to COVID. This is from BBC News.
Oh, I read that some of the kids were using lemon juice and stuff to fake positive COVID tests to get out of lessons they didn't like.
Yeah. Yes.
And,
yes.
Remembering when I was in school, yes, that seems exactly like something that the kids would do.
Yeah.
Like that time that fucking Darren flooded the floor of the thing to get out of an English lesson. I'm pretty sure it was Darren the knob.
David saying, can we blame lemon juice? Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Ban lemons.
Yeah. But the thing is, I'm not familiar with the science. I wish Scientist Mel was with us, because she'd be able to fill us in how this. But I think it's something to do with the sugar.
Yeah, I don't know the details, but I don't know if that specifically was the thing that they found that worked. But I think they tried all sorts of things, and then we're getting lessons, and then everybody sent home and stuff.
Yeah. But I'm kind of impressed with these young'uns. But you're doing these doing some experimental work to find out how to fake these COVID results so that they can get off school. I mean, part of me thinks they should be put in after school detention, but part of me thinks, well, no, good for you. You're doing some science.
One doing some science and figuring out what'll do a positive COVID test, and two, getting a load of people out of the plague schools.
Yes. Yeah.
Although in the case of the flooding the school with the fire hose that I'm pretty sure Darren did, karma did get him back though. He sneezed once and knocked himself out on a windowsill.
Okay.
What's this article actually about before I start talking about lemon juice all day? COVID-related pupil absence in England has hit a new high. There we are.
Since all students returned to school in March this year, over 640,000 pupils in England were not in school due to COVID last week, up from 375,000 the week before. Of these, just 62,000 were confirmed or suspected COVID cases. The statistics come as England's Education Secretary Gavin Williamson said the system of sending whole bubbles home after a positive case would be scrapped at the end of term.
Why though?
Yeah.
I mean, have they never played Pandemic?
I guess not. But the thing is, the reason why these bubbles, being said, the entire bubbles, bubble groups, or classes are being sent home, is because the thing about viruses is that they spread.
Yeah, that's kind of how they do.
Yeah.
They, and particularly with something that has an incubation period, when it is contagious but not visible, you kind of need to be a bit cautious about that.
So if one child is showing symptoms of COVID, you can guarantee it'll only be a matter of time before the whole class has it. So sending one child home is not going to cut it, I'm afraid.
You've met children, haven't you?
Yeah.
Not you. I mean, the people coming up with this. Yeah, we'll scrap that. You are aware how sticky children get things.
Yes. Well, yeah, exactly. I mean, if I can liken it to head lice.
Yeah. You'd think head lice would be less contagious than an airborne virus.
Yeah. Once one child starts scratching his head, sooner or later, all of them will start scratching their heads.
That one will be scratching the head, put some on the desk. Next one will come over and slap that one across the head, knock a whole load of them off that one's head onto all the ones next to him, and then rest their hand on the desk, pick up a load from there, go and rest their hand on another desk. And it's a whole, suddenly everybody's got lice.
Yeah. And whenever I drop my youngest daughter off at school, she and all her friends, they're all hugging each other, and none of the parents, are saying, now Johnny, remember we're supposed to be social distancing. And they're all touching each other and pushing and shoving each other.
They're doing what kids do.
Yeah. And so it's just, but I mean, so why they want to open up the schools, and why they're opening up the schools like this and stopping the bubble thing. But my words this evening, honestly. But,
well, at least my headache seems to have recovered.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Yeah, I was worried that I was going to be all night. Anyway,
Greg is saying, I have the Black Death. Should I stay home?
I'm going to say yes. Just probably. Also put like some chalk on your door or whatever the hell they did.
Nerdy is saying, kids can't vote though. So they're not important. And by the way, children can still get long COVID. And still suffer from long-term, from the long-term effects of COVID. Even after the infection is cleared. So, I think it's ludicrous what the government are doing here. It's ludicrous.
I'm not necessarily gonna say ludicrous, but what I am gonna say is early.
Yes, but it's definitely early.
Yeah,
Too early.
I'm not sure I want to say ludicrous because I think things will need to open up, but not yet.
Eventually,
you need to do a bit more testing with the vaccine. Make sure at least, I would say at least 80% of the people's, but I'm not an epidemiologist, so don't take that as any kind of definitive statement.
Greg is saying children have been dying, just not a lot. And Stall is saying we should send them up chimneys and down the mines. Well, you're joking, Stall, but I'm sure our old friend Reese Mogg would love to do that if he thought he could get away with it.
He'd be great with that.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure he has a chimney.
Yeah. Anyway, next story. Let's have a look. Well,
Just before we move on to the next story, I just want to be
yeah.
clear that having a chimney is not a definitive factor in being an absolute prick. Chimneys are great. It's just if any absolute prick was to have a chimney, it would be Mog.
Yes. Here's the final COVID related story I think we've got.
Oh, good.
Yeah, here we go. Deadlier than Delta, Lambda strain detected in over 30 countries, says Health Ministry.
Great. Marvelous. What's special about this Lambda strain then? Does it say that further down?
Let's have a look. Petalingea, a new COVID-19 strain that is much more dangerous than the Delta variant, has been detected in more than 30 countries in the past 4 weeks, says the Health Ministry. The Lambda strain was reported to have originated from Peru, the country with the highest mortality rate in the world. It said in a tweet on Monday, July the 5th. The Health Ministry also linked to a report by Australian news portal news.com.au saying the Lambda strain had been detected in the United Kingdom.
Marvelous.
And it goes on to say it noted that researchers are worried that this variant may be more infectious than the Delta variant. Have you heard anything about this Lambda variant before?
No, not really. I've been trying to just keep my COVID news to what I need to do about it. But I did have a quick glance through the headlines we were going to cover earlier, but I didn't take in a huge amount about what the Lambda one does specifically.
But I've only seen a few independent news news magazines cover this. The mainstream media don't seem to be talking about this, which is concerning. But for me, this is another reason why we shouldn't be rushing to open up, because we need to take this this new Lambda variant into account as well, especially if it's going to be more virulent than the Delta variant, and spreads quicker. And I'm only speculating here, but it could there could be the case that the vaccines may not be as effective against this new variant. We don't. But that's the thing. We don't know. We don't know much about it.
Further testing required.
Yeah. So exactly. Let's delay opening up a bit longer, please, so we can learn about this Lambda variant, and
not just
whether
that,
or
also
not,
just learn whether the vaccines are working in their current forms.
Yeah.
There is evidence that they are, but it's not. We don't have detailed studies on it.
Stahl has put a link to an independent article about the Lambda variant in the side chat as well. So I guess that is one mainstream newspaper that has covered it at least. But let's.
What else we got? Let's do something non-COVID-y, shall we?
Yes. Let's move on. I was going to say something, but it's gone. It's gone from my mind. I did have a point I wanted to I'm
I have
sure.
a feeling it'll come back as soon as we move on. You'll be there going, "Oh,
Yeah.
that's what I did." Yeah.
It can't have been that important if I've forgotten about it already.
Well, I don't know. I forgot some fairly important stuff before. As soon as it comes back, let's hear it. What else we got?
Okay, so here she is, Priti Patel.
Oh, you had to put her on my screen, didn't you?
Yeah, yes, I did. Sorry. UK to block visas for countries refusing to take back asylum seekers.
Why?
Well, I'll do. Well, if I understand this, what's happening. More and more asylum seekers, more people are coming over, to our shores to seek asylum here.
Yeah.
And so, and certain countries are refusing to take them back,
Okay.
apparently. And so,
let me just check I understand this properly, though. Blocking visas, that just affects people who are trying to legitimately travel, legitimately, not in the sense of being an asylum seeker, which is in itself a measure of legitimacy, but legitimately in the sense of they're trying to go through all the proper procedures of just either traveling for holiday or traveling for work or whatever. Is that right? Have I understood that right?
Well, let's see what the article says. The UK will block visas for visitors from countries the Home Secretary believes are refusing to cooperate in taking back rejected asylum seekers or offenders. In proposed legislation published on Tuesday, Priti Patel and future Home Secretaries would have the power to suspend or delay the processing of applications from countries that do not cooperate with the UK government in relation to the removal from the United Kingdom of nations of that country who require leave to enter or remain in the United Kingdom but do not have it.
Right.
The thing is, we had an arrangement with the with the EU that we had a cooperation going on between us and the other countries in the EU that we could send failed asylum seekers back to other EU nations, but what happened? We we decided to leave the EU and tear that cooperation up. So now cooperation.
Don't mind me, I'm just dropping everything.
Okay, that's gone out the window now, and so now the EU have said, well, no, you've got this is what you wanted. You've left us. You wanted your sovereignty, and this is one of the consequences of what you've done. We no longer have this agreement where you can just send this asylum seekers back to us. So in order to deal with that problem, this is what Priti Patel has come up with.
Right. Now, all those statements that all the Conservatives like to come up with about how obstinate and full of vengeance the EU is being, which I suspect there's some merit to that. Saying that the EU, certain members of the EU probably are a bit pissed off and doing things that are deliberately harmful just for the sake of being deliberately harmful. But you can't really criticize them for that when you're just going to be cancelling the visas of legitimate travellers because a country that they're from isn't cooperating with you.
Yeah.
All you're doing at that point is punishing individual people for the actions of other people.
Yeah. And it's... What was I gonna say? But it does. It's not a good look, is it?
No, it's really not. It'd be sort of like I'll still like this one. It'd be sort of like the fish business.
Yeah.
And just saying, well, okay, you're not buying our fish. You're not letting people buy our fish, so we're just going to set fire to the forest.
And but unfortunately, it's not just EU countries that are not cooperating. It's understood. The article says that countries such as Iraq, Iran, Eritrea, and Sudan are reluctant to cooperate with the UK on such matters. These are most of the countries that these people are. They're some of them are trying to come directly to our shores, but some of them come via other European countries.
Mm-hmm.
And the problem is another thing that Priti Patel wants to do is if these dinghies are sighted, then the authorities are supposed to turn them back. But the problem is the English Channel is quite narrow.
It is, yeah.
And if they get so far. Wild Eden is saying good night. Oh, good night, Wild Eden. Thanks for dropping by. If they get so far, if they get into British waters, then the authorities have an obligation to bring them safely to our shore. And if they get too far the other way, then they're no longer in our jurisdiction. So they'll be breaking the law if they try to intervene. So I don't think it's going to be as easy as Priti Patel thinks it's going to be. This whole business, this business that this legislation that she wants to put in place. I don't think it's going to work how she thinks it's going to work.
I don't want to make assumptions about Priti Patel, but has she ever been on a boat?
Well, I think if I remember rightly, I think her parents are migrated to this country.
Okay, but has she ever been on a boat?
I'm not sure. I don't think so.
Because she does seem to be legislating a lot of boaty related things, like somebody who's never been on a boat.
Yeah. It does seem that way, doesn't it?
Mm. You sort of no, I forgot where I was going with that. Anyway, what's next? I was like, I've got a whole amazing point here. What was it?
Okay, what's next? let's just. Yes. More Brexit bollocks.
Great.
Yes, EU plot. Where is this from? What? This. Oh, it's from the Express. EU plot to take British citizens is severe threat to Boris Johnson warned. It's serious.
Okay, what? The EU plot to do what? To take British citizens? Where are they taking them? Disneyland? Because if so, they could fuck off.
It says here, Tory MP Bernard Jenkins explained the UK used to export talent across the European Union and is now severely threatened. He questioned Boris Johnson if he was able to speak to German Chancellor Angela Merkel about visas for musicians and artists in Europe.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking to the liaison committee, Mr. Jenkins said, I think I would have liked the chance to ask Chancellor Merkel, who wants to stop cultural exchange, which is one of the objectives of her visit.
Right. I'm still confused about how this follows from the headline. I mean, are people traveling to do cultural exchange and then Merkel's saying, well, you're not having them back?
Well, the article goes on. We would not stop visiting artists coming to our own country, but we are losing people from London permanently. They are going to take residence in other European countries with European citizenship because they can't pursue their careers by staying in London.
So Boris is upset that people are choosing to move somewhere else.
Yes. Apparently, well, Mr. Johnson replied, I hope that we're not, and the evidence doesn't seem to support the view that we're losing all EU nationals. So I'm not sure.
What are they getting at here?
I don't.
I'm upset that people have decided, well, there's not much going on around here. Maybe I'll move over there, and maybe I will still do the now hugely more complicated and time-consuming process of getting EU citizenship, even though it's so, long-winded and time-consuming because London is shit.
Mr. Jenkins interjected, it's not about EU nationals. It's about British citizens taking up EU citizenship with other countries because their career opportunities are so limited to what they were. It's a very serious problem, Prime Minister.
What's wrong with that? What's wrong with people going somewhere else? Thought Boris would be all for that.
You'd think so, wouldn't you? It comes
he travels all over the place with his COVID face. So we're not supposed to talk about that anymore, are we?
No, apparently not. But it comes as community propaganda is rife around the Northern Ireland Protocol. A Belfast community worker has warned. Eileen Weir, a veteran community worker at the heart of the loyalist Shankill area of Belfast, said the post-Brexit mechanism needs to be fixed, but emphasised that many are only hearing the negative.
Okay.
Yeah.
How about you? Last time I was on, we were talking about patriotism and how patriotism is best when there's actually something to be proud of. How about you make the UK a place where people want to stay.
Yes, exactly. But it doesn't seem to be working out that way, does it?
Because, it's now much more convoluted to become an EU citizen, a citizen of an EU country, and move there. But people still doing it. You should probably, rather than being worried about this, in the sense that, oh no, where people are, these traitors are going overseas to live with the weird foreigners.
Mm.
You could just go. I think a better lesson from that is, oh, we're kind of shit, and we should probably fix that.
Yeah. We are proud of the Queen's knickers, says Dave.
It's all about knickers with you, isn't it, Dave?
Yeah, trust you to lower the tone. Honestly. Honestly. Anyway, shall we move on?
It's like, I don't want to go with the Titanic analogy, but fuck it.
Yeah.
It's like, why is our boat that's broken in half and full of water not attractive to passengers?
Yes, exactly.
As an extreme analogy, not quite that full of water. Yeah, I mean, it was raining out there, but you should probably look at encouraging people to want to be here rather than lamenting that they don't.
Yeah. Anyway, we've had the sausage wars, we've had the water wars, but are you ready for the toilet battles?
Oh no, but go on.
Fights breaking out over lorry parking in Kent.
Oh.
Lorry drivers in Kent face chaos due to a shortage of parking and poor toilet facilities, a union said. Unite said services and lorry parks in the country have become chronically overcrowded, with fights breaking out between lorry drivers.
Right. I don't want to laugh at people in a difficult situation, but the image of a load of constipated lorry drivers fighting over a portable toilet is kind of amusing.
This is my neck. This is where I was brought up. Kent. I mean, not the motorway.
Not the portable toilet.
Yeah.
All right. Carry
on. It comes after Kent County Council said it had applied to extend powers it has to restrict HGVs from parking on roads and laybys. The council said the scheme was designed to keep Kent roads moving.
Keep Kent's bowels moving, that sounds it.
I'm just going to move on because it waffles a bit. Unite National Officer Adrian Jones said drivers would face further parking chaos and misery if KCC's enforcement powers were extended. He added, there are simply not enough lorry parks and services being provided to meet the demands and needs of drivers.
Right, what's actually caused this? Is it just that they didn't bring enough loos?
I think so, yeah.
Did they forget that people need to shit?
Apparently. He says it's highly disturbing to learn that in extreme cases, fights have broken out. Mr. Jones said the stress on drivers was leading to many leaving the industry. Do Drivers say they're forced to park in laybys with no toilet facilities. So, yeah, the toilet battles.
If I was to put on my conspiracy hat for a minute, I'd say this was what's a good name for it? Big transport trying to push automated delivery trucks. Well, you see, automated delivery drivers don't need to shit.
Yes, this is it, isn't it? Or Tesla are going to invent self-drive lorries. So,
right. If I was Elon Musk, you know what I would do right now?
What?
I would make self-driving portable toilets that zip to where all the lorries are backed up, and where all the drivers are backed up, and just zip along next to the trucks that are all stuck, and just has a smiley face on the front of the speaker that says, "Need a shit? Come on in."
Yes,
that's what I would do if I was Elon Musk.
Oh dear.
That's what everything out. Let's plug it back in again. There we go. Carry on.
Jolly good. So yeah, the toilet Armageddon in good old Kent. Anyway, we've got an amusing story to finish with. Well, a relatively amusing story. Do you remember Avid Jones?
Which one's that?
We're walking in the air.
Okay, yep, carry on.
Yeah. Avid Jones's Twitter hacked after X-rated picture is posted to his fleets.
Hacked. I'm doing the quotes.
There he is. That's what he looks like today.
Oh yeah, it doesn't look like a snowman.
No. Avid Jones has explained that his Twitter was hacked after an X-rated photo was allegedly posted to his fleet's account.
Allegedly.
Fleets allow Twitter users to share tweets, pictures, or videos that will disappear from the site after 24 hours. It was rolled out on the social networking site in 2020.
I'd say this news article existing and him commenting on it confirms that something was posted to his fleet.
Yes. On Sunday, users noticed a now removed rude picture had been sent from the singer's account, which the Songs of Praise host explained was down to him being hacked.
Sure it was.
Were you aware that Avid Jones was one of the hosts of Songs of Praise now?
No, but that fits perfectly.
I only know this because my mum loves him and loves Songs of Praise.
Was your mum watching his fleets?
I hope not. I don't. I think he'll go down in her estimation if she knew about this, but still. Alid 50 tweeted, "I've been hacked. Sorry, everyone. Jeez. Kiss, kiss, kiss. So sorry. I don't know what Fleets is. I've never heard of it," he wrote. "Back to normal. Passwords changed. That was an interesting 20 minutes."
Hmm. Hmm. I believe the part where he doesn't know what fleets are.
Hmm. He says,
What?
all back to normal. Passwords changed, especially when I'm watching John Wick with the mother-in-law.
Right.
But you can
Hang
still
on
be
a sec.
Okay, go on, go on.
This story is getting less believable by the minute.
Yeah.
If I was to pick a film to watch with the mother-in-law, it wouldn't be John Wick.
Right, exactly. And even if you're watching a movie, you can still be tweeting and fleeting
Mm-hmm.
at the same time.
Or
So
you can be. Oh, this film's not really doing it for me. I'm going to watch some pornography on my phone. Oh no, it's on Twitter.
yes. But but the lady I think him denying and him denying that he did it and claiming that he was hacked is
Mm-hmm.
even more funny than than the porn being being fleeted from his account in
Yeah,
the first place.
yep, I agree. Now, I don't want to, I don't want to overstep the mark on this one. It's entirely possible that he was hacked, and it's a whole thing. However, one, the way the story has come across and the way he and others have reacted to it implies to me that that's not the case. And two, it's funnier for me to choose to believe that it was him looking at
Oh dear.
it. Look, Mom, I've tweeted that picture you took of me. Oh wait, that wasn't that.
How did that get in there? But I thought, well, after all that after all that bad news that we've been discussing, I thought that that would be a nice amusing story to finish with to kind of cheer us up.
I don't know why it's reminded me of this, but it's reminded me of that uh, some technically illiterate parent was trying to figure out if their child had been looking at pornography. So they went onto their child's computer and just went to porn.com. And they were just sitting there for like 2 hours going, look at all this pornography.
it reminds me, years ago when I was still living in Kent. Actually, I was working for Kent Information Systems,
Mm-hmm.
which was the IT support department within Kent County Council, and one of our our clients were the people working for the council
Oh
basically.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
And one of our clients, a lady, I think she was quite important as well. She brought her computer in, saying, my son, has put all this pornographic images
Okay.
on my computer. Can you get rid of it for me?
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
that was quite funny. That was quite amusing. And somebody else was caught with pornographic images on his computer, and he said, "Well, I don't. It was an accident. I just, Googled the word fishing boat, and this image of a naked woman sitting in a fishing boat appeared on my screen."
Oh dear. How could this have happened? All right, I've got two related stories that have popped into my head. The first one was during the course of my wonky all over the place activities. I've done lots of things that are linked to, but not technically part of, my local council. One of those was I attended a council information security meeting. And I thought this was going to be, I'm gonna get the scoop on all the highly advanced data security measures that local government has in place. But what it actually was, all right, people, we've got to stop emailing the wrong people. And Steve, do not leave your laptop on the train again. Look, I know it's easy to do. Just, don't do that. Just make sure you know when the train announcer says don't leave your luggage unattended, just don't listen. Don't leave your luggage unattended. Bring it with you. Do not leave your laptop with the sensitive government shit on the train.
And everyone needs to change their password from password.
Yeah. The other thing that's popped into my head was I was doing some IT support a while ago. Doing the IT support for the peeps, and this sort of middle-aged gentleman was requesting my assistance with having some virus issues. And he was a very nice chap. I got a lot of respect for him in a lot of areas, but he was a little bit kind of embarrassed and blustery about what he was doing at the time he got the virus. So everyone checks out these sites from time to time. Yes, that's fine. I'm not judging you for looking at these websites. I do not give a shit. You do whatever you like in your free time. What I am judging you for is trying to install an antivirus from an advert in the sidebar of a porn site.
Yes.
That's not where you install an antivirus from, my dude.
Yeah. Yes, exactly.
Just if it pops up saying your computer is infected, click here to remove. Don't.
Yeah. Yes. You'd think that would be common sense, wouldn't you? But apparently not.
I shouldn't make fun of this chap though, because he got himself into all kinds of comical misadventures. He was once in a car accident, and then was speaking to his neighbor, who was this very, very prim and proper late middle-aged lady, and was asking her if she'd ever been in a similar car accident. And the way he chose to phrase this was, "So have you ever been banged from behind?"
Oh dear! Oh my! Holy shit! Phrasing.
Yeah.
Oh dear!
He was a great guy, this chap, but he got himself into some messes.
My God! Yeah. I can only imagine. Anyway, on that bombshell, we're going to call it a night.
Yeah, I think we probably should.
Yeah.
Hashtag phrasing.
Yeah. But thanks for coming along, Badger.
Oh, thanks for having me, Mr. Sofa. It was lovely to have a good chat with you.
And we'll see you. We'll be together again in another 2 weeks. In 2 weeks from now.
I believe so. I may need to have a chat with you about scheduling at some point, because I think one of the things that I'm doing might be that they might be trying to offset it by a week, so I might need to at some point do 2 in a row and then swap which weeks I'm doing. Oh, it's a whole faff at my end at the moment.
Okay.
But
Okay.
I'll get back to you on that once I've figured out what the hell everybody's doing.
Okay. We'll sort it out one way or another anyway.
Yeah.
And thanks to everyone in the side chat. But thank you for your input as well. That's much appreciated. And at one point, we had 10 people viewing, which is
excellent.
I think that's a record for us, for this channel, for On the Sofa. I don't think. No, I think we had 10 viewers once before, but still, yeah, I really appreciate it. And but if you're watching after the fact, and you've made it this far, then you want to see more, then do subscribe and hit the bell icon, and so you're always notified when other videos come up.
Mm-hmm. Do all the YouTube business and subscribe, hit the thing, go to the social medias, do the click on those, and do good stuff for them. Yes.
Yeah, and do subscribe to Bad Tempered Badger as well.
Yeah, I've got some new nature videos coming out at some point in the future when I actually finish them. And you can also follow me on MySpace, where I occasionally post stuff.
Cool.
I do also, Dave mentioned, have you considered reading SCP articles during it? I said, well, I was thinking we should probably classify Boris as an SCP. He's an anomalous. It's a fictional thing it's like a thing that deals with anomalies. I think we should classify Boris as an anomalous entity.
Yes, yeah, I think we should.
Yes.
That said, thanks for watching, and bye for now.
Yeah, see you all later, everyone. Bye!